Is the pound yen currently on the 5 range. I've dropped to the lower time frame here to gain my entry on a 60-minute breakout pattern, but using a trend trade as the entry. So I've got a reward to risk here of just over 1.5 to 1. What I'm just going to do though is delete everything off and talk you through the actual trade. So here on the daily time frame, really not a great deal is happening. What I would say is that this is the lower structure level, this is the upper structure level, and as you can see, this upper structure level has been tested 3 times, and we are now working our way down to this lower structure level. Not a great deal here though on the dailies to give us any indication of direction. Down to the 240, what I was noticing is that we'd had this directional move here, and then we saw sideways movement. As we drop down to the 60, that becomes more prominent, and this was actually a breakout pattern I was keeping an eye on. Now I couldn't enter it because it happened at a psychological number, so I had to wait for price to violate this level, and this is how it actually looks. So this was a triangle like this, and it happened at 142 flat. If we zoom out, you can see that looking left, there is plenty of room here to come down to that lower structure level. So if I throw on a fib from the swing low to the swing high and look for that 127 target, just get this position correctly. You can see we've clearly broken that level, but we've not closed below it. As we drop down the time frames, we go down to the 15. On the 15, you can see we do have a confirmed break below, close below. Number of touches, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we go down to the 5 minute. Then what I was looking at was this. We can see it on the 5 range in a moment, but I'll show you here on the 5 minute. Pull back, move lower, pull back. So as we go down to the 5 range, and I can be more aggressive here because I know it has a higher probability of going lower than going higher. Then what happened is, as we was in trend here, so this was the point that violated structure. We saw a pullback, we saw a new low, we saw a pullback. So anywhere in the outside return here, we can look for a lower low, lower close candle. Typically, because we're in a breakout pattern and we're moving directionally, typically we only come to the wicks. That's exactly what we did. And right here was the lower low, lower close candle. So I'll just bring back on the orders. Stops going 80 above the high. Well, there was a psychological number here to get my stops behind, so I've actually gone 6 pips here behind this level, and targets are down at that 127. Now I'm just going to go out to the 60-minute time frame here, make sure I do have everything in place, targets, and make sure my fibs are exactly right. Yep. As you can see, we're pushing a little lower now. Okay, go back to the 5 range. So we're looking at, in terms of risk, to confirm 23 pips for 37, so just over a 1 to 1.5 now. And welcome back, guys. Damn. Lovely entry. Continued right down. This red line you see here is the 127 fib, and what happened is we came down twice. We came down to 141.50s. My targets were 141.48, so I came 2 pips within targets, moved to break even. The market came up here, stopped me out for break even, came right back down to the same point, and then has rallied up again now. So damn, this was a trade under the new position structure as well, where I trade a percentage of my account, and I have 2 accounts. And what we're doing now is we are either double bottoming in the middle of nowhere, or we are putting in a low and tight flag, one or the other, and we will know very shortly if this opportunity is valid or not, because we from the look of it right now are going to close above this area. So but there we go, break even trade for the pound yen.